A true story. It's to do with golf. Have you seen this game of golf? Okay. Arnold Palmer was one of the greatest golfers the world had ever seen. One day he was invited by the king of Saudi Arabia because there was a new golf course that was opened in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia. So the king decided to invite all the celebrities and all the best top golfers in the world. So there was about 100 of them. They went to Saudi Arabia. It's a true story. After the opening ceremony, they all played and had their game. They had a dinner with the king. So while they were eating and sitting, the king was going around and greeting all the golf players, being his guests. So he came to Arnold Palmer. True story. And as he greeted Arnold, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the king asked Arnold, he said, "What can I do for you?" Arnold was telling the story. He said, "He put me on the spot. I was not expecting a question from the king. And such a question, what can I do for you?" He said, "I really panicked. And I thought for a few short seconds, I can't ask the king, it's too embarrassing." So he said, "I had to say something. It's the king asking." I said, "Okay, king, how about a club?" The king said, "Okay, no problem." He said, "I went back to America. A week went by, 2 weeks. I'm checking the mailbox. There's nothing. 3 weeks. I said to myself, this is the king of Saudi Arabia. Do you think he's got the time to think about you? He probably said it at that dinner time and he forgot about it. He's too busy. Who cares?" He said, "Anyway, I gave up." He said, "Weeks went by. One day I came and I went to the mailbox to check and I saw a big envelope. I pulled it out, big red writing, confidential. I look at the address, the king of Saudi Arabia on it. I ran into the house, not waiting to open this envelope." He said, "I open it and to my shocking surprise, I see a title deed to a 500-acre golf club." You see, if you're not aware and familiar with the golf game, the word club applies to the stick that you play with, and the word club can apply to the entire land you play on. That is also called a club. You see, when Arnold said to the king, "I want a club," he meant a stick. But the king, being the king, interpreted as the king. You see, what Arnold is capable of is a stick, but the king is capable of a club of 500 acres. The mind of the king is totally different to the mind of a normal piece of dust like me. If an earthly king translated the word club into a 500-acre land, how much more the king of all kings, when you ask of him, you may say, "I want this," but the Lord will give you according to his capacity and capability. And what is his capacity? Infinite. Infinite. Don't embarrass yourself and ask him for something so tiny and be stubborn about that tiny thing. When you ask, let the king give you his way, not your way. Amen. Very good.